What do you think makes people successful?
Their mindset. It's how people think, what they become. It's always, always, always the outcome of their mindset. Everyone knows what success is. Whether it's success in business, financial success, success in your relationship, it doesn't matter, But what level of success you want to achieve, whatever is success to you, that's your own definition. When I was 37, I sold 2 companies. By then I was financially free. I had time and I had money, but still I was very unhappy. What causes unhappiness? If you live the life someone else wants, you need courage to take these decisions, to choose for yourself.
Michael Pilarczyk.
Michael Pilarczyk.
Also known as Mr. Mindset.
From a renowned DJ and TV host to a millionaire at 27.
I told you many years ago, you've got a Rolls-Royce voice.
After losing all his money on the stock market,
he bounced back, made millions again, and then went on a journey of self-awareness.
He now is a best-selling author, speaker, and serial entrepreneur.
His insights guide people to transform their lives,
find clarity, and live with purpose.
Sometimes people come to me and then they say, I would like to have your life, I would like to live in a house like that. I would like to have a boat like you have. I would like to have a relationship like you have. I want to have I kind of want to, but I don't want to invest my time and effort in what you have achieved. So people are lazy. Most people are lazy. They're not motivated. They don't really want it. And if it's not a real desire, and if there's not really a point that you need to do something, then there's a lack of motivation. When I was 2 million in debt, I lost all my money. There was a need, because I had to survive. I had to make a lot of money to create a new life. But also I had this desire that I wanted to become a millionaire again. And some people hate me for that, because they blame me for, your life is always about money, you always want to be the rich guy, you want to be a millionaire. And I say, no, that's a misunderstanding. I don't want to have money to stick it to the wall. I want to do whatever I want, what I like to do, writing books, speaking, events, what I did before, radio, TV. I like the things I do, which I make money on. So I make money with the things I like to do. The money is the outcome of what I like doing. And therefore, I have created wealth again. So for me, money is absolutely important, and it's a driving force. It's a driving force because with the money, I can create the life I love. I can buy the house we live in. I can pay for the life I want to live. So I have a strong motivation for that. But for example, last year, I gained a lot of weight, and I was looking myself in the mirror, and I realized I needed to do something about that because it made me unhappy. And then I went to the gym, I found a personal trainer, I started exercising every day, 1 hour daily, walking around in the garden, in nature, in the mountains, every day, 1 hour with the dogs. And within 2 months, I lost so much weight, and I really felt stronger and happier because I was looking in the mirror and I saw a different body. But there was a strong motivation to do that. So why, regarding to your question, why doesn't everyone do that? because they lack motivation. They don't really want it. And most people want the success. They want the prize, you know, they want the reward, they want the money, they want the success, but they don't want the training part. They want to be the winner, but they don't want to be the one training for months, years to become that champ. They want to be successful in business. They don't want to work all day and night. So what people really want is the end result, but what they don't see, what they don't like, is the way, you know. On the top of the mountain, the view is amazing. It's fantastic to be on the top of the mountain, but it's a long way. It's a long way you have to climb, and you have to climb it yourself. And most people don't have the motivation to climb every mountain.
Do you think that makes them unhappy?
I don't know if that makes them unhappy. You know, it makes you unhappy if you compare you to me. Because I achieve almost every goal I set for myself because I have a lot of discipline, I work hard. Sometimes I fail because sometimes I give up. But that's very rare. Most of the time, I always go all the way until I have achieved my goal. And if you want to achieve the same goal, but you don't want to put in the same amount of time, energy, effort, you could be jealous because you didn't make it. So does it make people unhappy? I don't know. If it makes you unhappy, then it's a sign or it's a teaching that you have to do more to achieve the goals you want. You could also say, what makes you unhappy? Why are you unhappy? I think in today's world where we are all comparing on social media what we see, that can make you unhappy. Because I see the other guy has a bigger, more expensive car. He has a beautiful wife. He has a bigger house. His life looks like, you know, it's only in a movie that you meet people like him or on Instagram, on social media. And if you see those social media lives of so many people, which are sometimes they're real. My life is real, but sometimes they're not. And even then, why should you compare to these other people? Why should you? And if you want to create such a life for yourself, well, you're free to do it. You know, you have the example, the role model. What did they do? What path has they been through to achieve what they have achieved, to create that life? If you know someone who did it already before you know the steps you should take to achieve an equal kind of life. Don't be jealous, don't be unhappy. Unhappiness is not needed. If you are honest to yourself, you can be happy every day in your life. If you face yourself in the mirror every night before you go to bed, and you can say to yourself, I did everything I could this day to make this day a great day. I did everything I could to become a better me. Did I learn something today? Did I grow today to become a better person? Then you can never be unhappy.
What was it for you? What was the first time that you did something that was out of your comfort zone?
I've always been like this. When I was in high school, you know, you're in high school, you need to do this, you need to do that. Your parents want you to study this, and your friends go that way, and and you're stuck somewhere in the middle. And I had a completely different vision because I was listening to the radio and I heard this guy in the radio and I thought, wow, this is cool. Is this a job, you know? That's not really 9 to 5. This is what I want. There's someone in that radio talking to me, playing the music. This is what I want. And so when I was at school, I told my teacher, this is what I'm going to do. And he told me, well, we cannot teach you to be a radio DJ. And my father told me, that's not a job, you know. You can't make money with being a DJ. He didn't know better. And I made a decision when I was 13. I decided to become a radio DJ. Although everyone said it was impossible, my father didn't like the idea. My teachers at school said it was impossible, it was a dream, and you know I should take I should think about my future, and that's what I did. I thought of my future, but my future was another future. My future was being a radio DJ. And I became one. And then from radio, I went to TV. So I moved on because I always lived by my own rules. And I can imagine, because I've been working with so many people in the past 10, 12 years, it's most of the time fear that's stopping you from taking these decisions to live the life you really want, to do what you really want to do. You know, I had so many students that came to me with an idea, with a vision, with a desire. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be an artist. I want to be a video creator. But then there were parents who rather liked them to be a student, you know, going for a master, bachelor, whatever. And it's hard, you know, because you want to stay loyal to your parents, maybe even to your teachers. But you also have to stay loyal to yourself because it's your life. And only you can live your life. And if you live the life your parents actually would you to live, it's not your life anymore. And then that can cause unhappiness, you know? What causes unhappiness? If you live the life someone else wants. Most of the time it's your parents' life. And if you decide to move on or, you know, take another road, maybe it makes your parents unhappy, but it will give you happiness if you do whatever you like, to follow your heart, follow your desires. And that means it needs courage. You know, you need courage to take these decisions, to choose for yourself. And there is no guarantee that you will succeed. You know, even when you put in all the effort, all the energy, all your time, then still there is a possibility that you won't get what you want, that you won't achieve all your goals. But if you really go for it, and you go all the way, there's a big chance that you can achieve whatever you want. But, yeah, you need courage. If you're always thinking what other people think of you, or how they see you, and you want to be liked, you probably start to live the life other people expect from you. But if you go your own way, even if they don't like you, you're true to yourself. And I think that will be the road to happiness in the end. That'll be the road to happiness. If you take the other road and you make other people happy and you think, if I do what they expect me to do and now they will like me and that gives me a good feeling, you're maybe right, but in the end, one day, you notice that you lost yourself, that you're not true to yourself. And that will make you unhappy.
How do you think people can find better role models for them?
Role models are everywhere. You see them in social media, on television, internet, everywhere. The question is, who do you want to be? And if I speak about role models, examples, it's not that you should be a one-on-one copy. You know, Tony Robbins is one of my role models. Jim Rohn is a role model. Dan Pena is a role model. Rashri Patel is a role model. They're role models to me, but I'm not copy-pasting them one-on-one. You know, they inspire me. I listen to them. I learn from them. But I do it my way. And I have many role models. You know, Richard Branson, as a businessman, is a role model. Even people who died, you know, a long time ago. Alan Watts is a role model. Krishnamurti. These are my role models. If you have to find role models, you have to decide for yourself, who do I admire? Not as in a hero, you know? It's not that you have to worship someone. I think that's the wrong way, but you have a hero, you admire someone because of, you know? I want to be like him. I want to be like her. And then you can develop your own way to become like your role model. But don't become your role model. The model is already there. If you're the copy, you're never as good as the original. But these people can inspire you. Like if you want to become a video creator or a director, Steven Spielberg can be a role model because he made the most amazing movies. You can have script writers as a role model, but also people who live a life that you would like to live. Even if they're not in the film business, maybe an artist or maybe an uncle, you know? To me, my Uncle John, he was my role model. We lived a very average life. We lived in a normal street in a very tiny house. We came from Poland. When I was almost 2, we moved to the Netherlands. We lived on the attic in a very small house of my grandma. And one of my uncles, Uncle John, he was different than the rest of the family. He drove a really amazing luxury car. He was living in a huge house. He had an office. And he had no job and no boss. But he had a business, you know, he was a businessman. And I was like, interesting. Why does my father need to work all day, all night? My mother needs to work all day, all night, and still we have no money. And my Uncle John has a different life. And then I think I was about 7. I realized that he was a rich man. So he became my role model. Even I had no idea what he was, that he was a millionaire. The only thing I knew when I was 7, this is the life I want to live, you know? I don't want to live in this tiny house with a tiny small car and we always have to count the coins if we have enough money. Assuming he has another life, he can buy this huge house because he has more money. So when I was 7, and he was my role model, my Uncle John, I decided I wanted to be like him. And because of him, I started living the life I still live. So that's how you can work with role models. You can also read biographies, you know. There's so many books written about inspiring people that you can learn from so much.
Do you think that this is a point that's very lacking in the education system?
Yeah. Yeah. I think the point, what is lacking in our system, in maybe, I don't know, in Europe, I think in the States as well, in the whole world, you are being educated to be average. I think they want to produce 25, 30 kids being average, you know, packed in a box. And when they graduate, they're being delivered like this is an average boy or girl. We've done our job. They're ready for the world now. But if you are creative, if you have some talent, you want to be this video guy, you want to be a writer, you want to be a singer, you want to be whatever, above average, you're not being supported in this educational system. So you have to find your own way, like I did. You know, I taught myself how to become a DJ. I taught myself everything. And I found my own teachers. Because in school, when I asked one of my teachers, how do I become a millionaire? And it was a very, very kind person, this gentleman. He told me, well, life is not only about money. And he's right, you know. Life is not only about money. Absolutely true. But my question was, how can I become a millionaire? And they couldn't teach me in school how to make money. That's strange, because life is about money. Life's not all about money, but you cannot live for one day, for 1 week without money, because you have to pay in the supermarket. You have to pay for your car, your rent, your mortgage, your doctor, your education, your school, your whatever. Everything costs money, so money is important. And what do they not teach you in school? Money. Nothing. They don't teach you about money, they don't teach you about health, about the mind, about yourself, about... So yeah, they don't have the right role models in school. But they're everywhere. So if you Google, if you go on YouTube, you will find your own role models. I think I learned more from my role models than I learned in, I don't know, I've been in school for about 12 years or something. I quit when I was 18. Yeah, I think I learned more from my business mentor, Dan Pena. He's a great role model. My other business mentors, they taught me more than I've learned in my whole period in school. Yeah.
What was the main reason you wanted to share this knowledge with other people? Because in a way, you already achieved your dreams.
That's a good question. Actually, it was not my idea. When I was 37, I sold 2 companies. When I was 41, I sold another company. By then, I was financially free. I could do whatever I wanted. I had time and I had money, but still I was very unhappy. So I was deep down and depressed. The only thing was, now I was a rich guy, but still deep down and depressed. And I started to live my dream, living on my boat. You know, I built my boat, I started sailing, lived on my boat for about 7 years, sailed around Europe for about 5 years. And then I met my wife, Cindy. She went sailing with me for another 2 years. And Cindy was reading all these books. And then one night, we were at an anchorage watching the sun go down in the sea, and she asked me, why did no one ever taught me this at school? And she was right. I was also pretty amazed that no one teaches you anything about the mind and the power of your mind and thoughts. And I thought about it when she asked me, why don't you start teaching all these things, you know, the Think and Grow Rich stuff from Napoleon Hill? Why don't you start teaching about the power of the mind, the power of thoughts? And I thought about it for a while, but I was retired. You know, by then I was 40, 41. I was retired. My life was about sailing and writing. I wanted to write books. I really love being alone, being with my wife and the dogs, on my boat, writing books. That's what I love. But then, when I published my first book, and I did some lectures, after every lecture, people were really waiting for 2 or 3 hours, queued up in lines to ask me questions. And these were severe life questions. What should I do with the rest of my life? How should I solve these problems? I have problems in my relationship, with myself, with my parents, with my kids. I have no money. What to do? I don't know. Every night, after each lecture, there were so many people. And that was a moment that I realized I had to do something with this gift. I don't know, you know. But I realized I could help a lot of people just by listening to their questions and trying to, not giving answers, but trying to move them in a certain direction to help them find their own answers. And then I started writing other books, Master Your Mindset, Peace of Mind, Design Your Own Life. We started organizing all these events, Maximum Potential. I did a lot of private coachings, over 1,000 one-on-one coachings. It just evolved, you know, it just happened. It was not my idea, it was not my intention, it just happened. And then along the way, I really liked doing what I was doing. And now we're here.